Okay, let's dive in. Imagine you're setting off on a treasure hunt. But forget the dusty maps, ancient temples. Think lines of code, huge digital ledgers. We're talking about a pretty unique kind of adventure today, something we're calling crypto archaeology. Sort of like being Indiana Jones, maybe? But, for the digital age, I mean, I've definitely heard those stories, those whispers about massive fortunes just lost. Early Bitcoin miners, right? Losing a hard drive with thousands of coins, forgotten passwords, locking away, well, life-changing money. How much of that is just talk and how much is actually out there, still waiting? It feels like they're not just myths. They're kind of the digital version of sunken treasure ships. Yeah, full of riches. So the big question for us, I think, is how on earth do you even start? How do you sift through all that digital dust to find something?
Well, that's exactly it. Crypto archaeology is this emerging field, really, trying to do just that. It's all about studying old blockchain transactions, analyzing wallet addresses, basically piecing together the digital breadcrumbs these early folks left behind.
Digital breadcrumbs? I like that.
Yeah. And the reason this is even possible, you see, is because networks like Bitcoin are, at their core, public ledgers. Every single transaction, every wallet address, every bit of value move, it's all recorded forever, publicly.
Just an open book.
An open book, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's written in a language that very few people can actually read properly.
Yeah.
So our mission here in this deep dive is to really explore how people are trying to tackle this huge digital puzzle.
Okay, wow, that's a massive undertaking. Let's get practical for a second. What's the first step? If someone were actually doing this digital treasure hunt, are there like specific data sets or maybe initial searches that tend to work better? Is it just looking for wallets that haven't moved anything in years?
It's definitely more nuanced than just scanning for inactivity, although that's part of it. We often start by trying to categorize the lost crypto. Is it a forgotten private key? That's one scenario. Or maybe it's unspent transaction outputs, UTXOs from really old mining rewards.
Yeah,
The keys might still exist somewhere, just
yeah,
misplaced.
place different kinds of lost.
Exactly. And each type needs a slightly different approach, different tools.
So what kind of tools are we talking about? Is this standard data analysis stuff or much more bespoke?
Oh, it's highly specialized, really specific. We often use forensic blockchain explorers. These are way more powerful than the public ones you might see online. They let you dive really deep into transaction metadata.
Okay.
Graph database analysis is also critical. It helps map out these really complex transaction flows, visualize connections between addresses that might seem totally unrelated at first glance.
Doing the hidden links.
Precisely. And we also develop custom algorithms, looking for specific patterns that might flag lost funds. Things like dusting attacks, which can sometimes accidentally point to a dormant wallet, or taint analysis to trace where funds have moved, especially if they've passed through known exchanges or services. And here's a key thing. Sometimes a single massive transaction isn't as revealing as a whole series of tiny connected ones, forming a complex pattern over time. It's about identifying clusters of addresses that seem to belong to the same person or entity. That often comes down to heuristic analysis, making educated guesses based on how the transactions behave.
That sounds incredible, like a mix of high-tech forensics and old-school detective work. But is it purely data-driven? Or does intuition, maybe historical context, play a big part too? Can different people look at the same blockchain data and see different things, have conflicting ideas?
Oh, absolutely. It's a constant interplay, really. The data gives you the facts, the raw information, but human intuition and deep historical research, that provides the vital context.
Like knowing the history of a specific coin.
Exactly. Knowing the timeline of a project, understanding how early adopters typically behaved, even remembering specific events like the Mt. Gox hack, for instance, that can give you crucial clues. You might see a huge transfer from a wallet that's been silent for years. The data just shows the move. But the story behind it, who might that whale have been? Why did they move it now? That takes combining the on-chain data with off-chain research. History.
Connecting the dots.
Yes, definitely. There are times when different analysts will interpret patterns differently, especially with transactions designed to be confusing or new kinds of attacks. That's part of the challenge, and frankly, part of the thrill. But, this brings up a really important point. Beyond just the money, what's the real significance here? For someone really deep in crypto archaeology, the actual treasure, it isn't always the coins themselves, it's the stories.
The stories.
Yeah, finding a forgotten wallet might tell you about a developer who maybe gave up on a project just a bit too early. Or an old transaction could be the only proof left of some online community that just fizzled out.
Wow, like digital ghosts.
Kind of.
Mhm.
So it's not just about finding lost money. It's about understanding the very beginnings of this whole digital finance world. It's about preserving the history, the history of a technology that's fundamentally changing things.
I totally see that. The stories definitely add huge value. It's like a unique window into those early Wild West days. But let's be honest, given how many dormant wallets there must be and how complex this all sounds, isn't the money still the main driver for most people trying this? How does that, pragmatic reality mesh with the historical quest?
That's a very fair point. And yes, for most people, the initial draw is absolutely the potential payday. Can't deny that. But what often keeps people engaged, keeps these crypto archaeologists digging, even when the odds seem impossible, is that puzzle element, the challenge of cracking the code, of deciphering history.
The hunt itself.
Exactly. So whether you're motivated by profit or just pure curiosity, the methods you have to use, they inherently involve uncovering these narratives, these historical footprints. So yeah, even a purely mercenary hunt can accidentally turn into this fascinating historical exploration.
Okay, that makes sense. But even with all these amazing tools, these dedicated people, we have to be realistic, right? The vast majority of these lost wallets, these digital treasure chests, they're going to stay lost forever, aren't they?
That's absolutely true. The cryptography is incredibly strong. Finding that one specific key in an unimaginably huge digital haystack,
Yeah.
it's immensely difficult.
Yeah.
Despite all the tools coming out, data visualization, advanced searches, probably the most powerful tool is still the human mind. Looking for that story, that pattern, where others just see random numbers and letters.
So the quest continues, even against the odds.
It does. And the quest itself, trying to find them, trying to understand their stories. It's fascinating, and I think it's important. It sort of reminds us that even in this super fast-paced digital world, the past still holds secrets. And every transaction, doesn't matter how small, is actually a piece of this bigger unfolding history.
Hmm.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how permanent these digital records are. What will future historians make of our time looking back at our digital footprints long after we're gone?